thing you do is A is going to be any number that's equal or greater than 1, and you're going to take this number times C, and then you'll get x squared plus bx plus whatever A times C equals. So after you get that, you're going to think of two numbers that multiply to get the A and C and add up to the B. So then you would put those in parentheses, whatever numbers they are. We can put in just 2 for now. And then whatever A was, we can say is 1. You divide it by that. So it would be x plus 2 in this case, and x plus 2, because 2 divided by 1 is 2. I'll leave the formula up here and we can do our first example. Okay, the first example is going to be 2x squared plus 11x plus 12. So the first thing we're going to do is do 2 times 12. Two times 12 is 24. So then you're going to think of two numbers that multiply to get 24 and add up to 11, which would be 8 and 3. And you get those just by going down the list, like 12 times 2, that would get you 14 instead of 11, and then 8 times 3 would get you 24, and 8 plus 3 is 11. So then after you get your two factors, you divide it by the original number, and 8 divided by 2 would be 4, so that'll leave you with x plus 4. And 3 divided by 2 doesn't go evenly, so you would take the denominator 2 and do 2x plus 3. And that would be your answer. Okay, in this one we're going to do 6x squared minus x minus 15. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take 6 times 15, which is 90. So it would be x squared minus x minus 90. And we can make a factor tree for 90. And it has to be a difference of 1 because x is 1. So the difference, we need a difference of 1. So 9 and 10 equals 90 with a difference of 1. So the signs are going to be different because it's a negative, and the larger number is going to have the negative sign. Because negative 10 plus 9 is negative 1. And then once we have this, we're going to go back to our 6 that we multiplied by and divide 9 by 6 and 10 by 6. And this 10 divided by 6 doesn't go evenly, so that would be, we would reduce it to 5 over 3. So 5 over 3. 9 divided by 6 doesn't go evenly, so it would be 3 over 2, and we would take the denominator and put it in front of x, so your answer would be 3x minus 5 and 2x plus 3, and this would be your answer.
I will be showing you an example of swing and divide. For the first step, take this 12 over to this negative 3 and multiply it. Negative 3 times 12 is negative 36. So once you have gotten that number, you're ready to find the factors. You need two numbers that multiply to negative 36 and add to negative 16. This happens to be negative 18 and 2, because negative 18 times 2 is negative 36, and negative 18 plus 2 is negative 16. Once you have found these two numbers, you're able to find your solutions. But before you're able to find your solutions, you must take this 12 and divide out both of these numbers, and you reduce. Once you've reduced both your numbers as far as they can go, you take the leftover number, put it in front of the x, and you rewrite it. 2x minus 3 and 6x plus 1. One of the most common errors is forgetting to take the GCF out. I'll show you a quick example of how to do GCF. For this example, we have 12x squared minus 8x. When finding the GCF, you want to find the greatest common number in this part of the equation and this part. For this example, it happens to be 4x. Once you have found 4x, you need to take 4x divided by 12x squared, which happens to be 3x. Then also, you want to take negative 8x divided by 4x, which gives you negative 2. This is your greatest common factor for 12x squared minus 8x.
Yeah.
When dealing with swing and divide, you want to take this number, swing it to this negative 5, and multiply. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15. Then you want to rewrite your equation to x squared minus 2x minus 15. Once you have this equation, you want to find two numbers that multiply to negative 15 and that add up to negative 2. This would be negative 5 and 3. Once you found that, you're done.
Actually, you're not. The most common error is for people to forget to take the number out in front of the x and divide it. So she's not done. She has to divide 3. And then you take the 3 and put it out in front of the x. So that would be 3x minus 5. And you would reduce this to 1 over 1, which would be 1. And it would be x plus 1. And that's your answer.
Thank you.
Okay, so first you're going to do 4 times negative 7, which is 28, negative 28. And then you're going to find two numbers that multiply to get negative 28 and add to negative 3. And that would be negative 7 and 4. Negative 7 times 4 is negative 28, and negative 7 plus 4 is negative 3. Then you divide by the 4, and you would get and that will be your answer.
She would actually be wrong. When dealing with this kind, and you get, when you're going to divide it out, 4, you must first look to reduce. This would be 1. Once you have reduced all the numbers that can be reduced, you must move the bottom number in front of the x. This happens to be 4x minus 7 x plus 1. This would be your correct final answer. When dealing with swing and divide with GCF, you must first look at these three numbers and find the greatest common number between these three. In this equation, it's 2. 2x squared divided by 2 is x squared. 20x divided by 2 is 10x. And 50 divided by 2 is 25. So this would, what it would be like with the GCF taken out. Emily will show you the rest on how to swing and divide.
So now you need to find two numbers that multiply to get 25 and add to 10, and it would be 5 and 5. So it would be x plus 5 and x plus 5. 5 times 5 is 25, 5 plus 5 is 10, and you can't forget the 2, and that is your answer.
When you have an equation that needs to be factored, look twice at it because GCF may be a factor. If there is a GCF of A, B, and C, divide it out, then you will see. Once that is factored, then you may begin. Take A, swing it to C, but that's not quite the end. When that stuff is done, it's time to factor. Two numbers that multiply to C and add to B. Again, you're not quite to the end. Just wait and see. Divide out A from the factors, but do not forget to swing it over.